Yesterday we learnt about some basic evolution and introduction about JavaScript, and we learnt how to integrate JavaScript into HTML three ways. JavaScript can be inline, JavaScript can be embedded, and it can be in external file. Those basics are same. Now, after understanding how JavaScript is kept inside HTML page, now another important point is how JavaScript refers HTML elements. How JavaScript refers HTML elements. How JavaScript is going to control HTML elements. For that, first, how it refers HTML elements. That means JavaScript have to handle HTML elements. To handle HTML elements, first it should able to refer it. How it refers? For example, see, suppose we have a page, and in this page, so we have a image, and we have a div, we have a form, and username, and heading is some registered, and username input type is equal to text, and we have a button that is empty. I will just put ordinary button, input type is equal to button. We have an ordinary button here, right? Now here we have another div, and we have a form, and heading is login, and email input type is equal to email, and input type is equal to button. Now this is the page we designed. Now in this we have image, width is 100, height is 100, and border is 1. That is the image place. We have a place for image. Now I want JavaScript to take control of this page and apply a photo in the image place, and put some text in the button saying register, and another button email, login. That means we want JavaScript to take control of this HTML image and put some image at the time of loading the page. So that means when you want to perform the functionality. So when you are dealing with JavaScript, basically first you should know about three technical terms: properties, methods, and events. Methods, you can call them as functions. What is difference between method and function? You will learn. Before starting with anything, you have to know about these three things: properties, methods, and events. So actually, suppose I will take one small example. Suppose, so we have here an object like ball. So we have a ball, and this ball object, we have a ball, and this ball object have some description, like suppose this is, yeah, so this is having red color, Yeah, so this ball is in a red color and it have black border and it have some 4 mm diameter radius it is having. So that is color, black border and radius how much it is having. And this ball can fly, this ball can explode. The ball can fly and explode. So now the point is how this object looks like. That means it is red in color, black border, 4 diameter. These are considered as properties. Properties describe how object looks like. The height, width, color, all these comes under properties. What this object can do means what functionalities it can do. These are called as methods. That means object can fly and object can explode. That means ball can fly, ball can explode. When it will fly and when it will explode. When I kick the ball, it will fly. When I pin the ball, it will explode. So these are called as events. That means an object will perform some functions. When it will do them, when any event fires up. Generally in software terminology, we call as event fires up, or you can call as event triggered. That means whenever event fires up, it will perform the functionality. Whenever event is triggered, it will perform the functionality. So if you want some functionality to happen, you have to tell when to happen. It's mandatory. That means events are mandatory to do any action. I want it to change color. Then you have to tell when it should change color. When button clicked, when drop down changed, when radio changed, or when page loaded. Events are mandatory. So without events, it cannot do any actions. For example, now let's take technical now. Technical means suppose we have a button. So this button is same. This button is red in color. This button is having text. So saying that some print, it is having some text print. Now button have the options like, so button width. So button width is some 200 pixels. Button height is some 50 or 40 pixels. Button value is print. So button BG color is red. Button border is 2 pixel solid black. So now what are all these? You know that these are all considered as what? Properties. Now what this button can do? Button can do lot of works, like it can open, it can close, it can save, it can print, it can cancel. All these are all called as methods. Now depending on requirement, we ask that button to do print for this moment. It can do close in another situation. It can do save in another situation. Now the question is, when it will open, when it will close, when it will save, when it will print. If I ask when usually button respond, then you people will say that on click. Am I right? You people will say that on click. When button is clicked, it will do. But not only click. So when user click means here we have on click. We have like on mouse over, like on mouse down. So on DBL click, double click. On context menu. Context menu means on right click. That means don't think that button will do any work only on click. Button can do work immediately when I move mouse pointer onto it. Button can do work when I remove mouse pointer from it. Button can do work when I double click on it. Button can do work on various stages. We call them as what? These are called as what? Events. Events. Don't link these events with any control. That means event is not related to control. These all events are related to browser. In JavaScript, we call them as browser events. And these can be used anywhere. For example, we have a div. User can click div also. You have a paragraph. User can mouse over the paragraph. That means it's not like it should work for only button, or it should work only for drop down or radio button or checkbox. User can click a div also. For example, in Bootstrap, we designed a drop down. What element we have used for designing a drop down? In Bootstrap, which element we used for designing a drop down? Div only. In a div, we applied a class called drop down. That means we have a progress bar. For which element we applied progress bar? Div. That means these events are not related to button or not related to any control. These are related to browser, and you can use with any one of them. Only the point is you have to use them reasonably. Now, what I want here is when the page loads, when the page body loads, I want JavaScript to take control and put some image here. I want JavaScript to take control of this button and put some value inside it. So when you want it, I want it to happen body on load. Understood? On load, what functionality it should do? So you can give any name. Remember, this is a reserved event name. That means you have to spell it exactly like that. Capitalization doesn't matter, but always use lowercase, lowercase. This is event name that is mandatory to be in the same way. These are keywords. And function name can be anything. You can give any name that is user defined, custom name. We can give any name. Suppose I will give reasonably. We can give any name, but we give a reasonable name. I will give the name as body load. So currently, later we will detailedly discuss. This indicates that it allocates memory for this function. Parenthesis indicates that it initializes memory. Parenthesis indicates it initializes memory, so that in that memory it can do some functionality. So the point is, on load, it will execute a function called body load. But is there any function by that name? No, we have to write it. Where to write? We are writing in head by using script. What is the function? Function name. What is it? Body load. Is it a predefined name? No, it is our own name. You can write a function and you can use it. Or you can first mention the function name and define it. It's any order. There is no order. That means don't think that first we write on load, after that we write function. We can write first function, then we can use it here. Use it here. So when body loads, it will do some functionality. What functionality currently not yet decided. What I want here is I want JavaScript to take control of HTML elements and do some work with them. Then what are the reference techniques? First method is number one, JavaScript can refer HTML elements by using DOM hierarchy. Can refer elements by using DOM hierarchy, document object model hierarchy. JavaScript can refer elements by using DOM hierarchy. Refer elements by using the DOM hierarchy. By using DOM hierarchy means already in HTML introduction itself, I given you an overview about what is DOM. We discussed about DOM. And you can Google, you will get a DOM hierarchy. I showed you a presentation also. So JavaScript DOM images, you will see a lot of DOM hierarchies. So this is the diagram you have seen. This is the DOM hierarchy. Anywhere online you will get this diagram. Everywhere it is same. Right now, this is the DOM hierarchy. Now in this DOM hierarchy, so let's save this. So JavaScript DOM. Okay. Now let's close this. Yeah. Now see here, I am opening the DOM hierarchy. And this is the JavaScript DOM. Now observe carefully. This is the DOM hierarchy. According to this DOM hierarchy, now see in our page, we have image. So in our page, we have image. I want to put some image. Actually, image sources are present in come out of this folder, means .. in that public, in that images, we have some laptop PNG. Okay. Now I want that image to be defined on page load. Now as per DOM hierarchy, see where image is present. As per the DOM hierarchy, you see where image is present. As per the DOM hierarchy, you can observe that the image is present in the parent window. In the window, you will have a document. In the document, we have image. And images is showing a square brace. So it is showing a square brace means actually array. Array means collection. And collection starts with index number 0. 0, 1, 2, 3. It starts with, because there can be several images in our page. And its index number starts with 0. This is the DOM hierarchy of image. That is the DOM hierarchy of image. So if that is the DOM hierarchy of image, you can see now. So let's refer that DOM hierarchy here. What is the parent? Parent is window. In window we have document. Actually, dot is called invoking operator. It invokes the members of that particular object. Object related members can be invoked. That means you can open them, launch them by using dot. It is called invoking operator. We call dot as invoking operator. So in window, there are some objects. How to invoke them? By using dot. In window, what is that? Document. In document, what you have? images. How many images? Images is a collection. How many images are there in the page? Only one image there. Then its index number will be 0. If it is an image, to apply a photo into it, we need to use a property called SRC. SRC is what? Dot dot slash public slash images slash in that laptop dot png. That is the image source, and you can see it applies an image. Now JavaScript take controls of your HTML and puts an image dynamically. We can change according to situation and requirement. That's what JavaScript can do. So JavaScript can refer the elements by using DOM hierarchy. Okay. Now by using this hierarchy, let's try to put a value in the button of register form. The value in the button of register form. So let's go now. See, in the DOM hierarchy here. So in this now. So the point is, in this hierarchy, the concept is the parent element is window. So the parent element is window. Okay. And in window, we have document. In document, we have forms. Forms is a collection because there can be more than one form in a page. In that form, every form can have elements. Every form can have elements. Button is an element, text box is an element. Elements also array. Elements in a form are accessed by using index number. Index number. Let's see now. Let's go to our page. Here, how many forms are there in the page? 2 forms are there in the page. Register is which number? Register is 0. Index number starts with 0. Okay. In that, how many elements are there? Form elements, how many? Not heading. Form elements. Form elements means button, text boxes and all are form elements. How many form elements are there? 2. What is the index number of button? 1. Because at 0, text box is present. At 1, button is present. So what is the hierarchy now? See, parent is window. In that document, in that forms, how many forms? 2. In that first form is 0. And in that elements, 2 elements are there. Button is 1. Button is an element. Button element don't have SRC. It will have a value. What is the value you want to keep? Register. And you can see that the button will be kept with register. That's how JavaScript can refer. Now, how to refer the second button? Second button, you can tell now. In that window, in that document, in that forms, in that 1, in that elements also 1. That in the form elements is 1, right? And in that we have a value and I given as login. And you can see it will apply. So this is called DOM hierarchy. That means JavaScript can refer any element by using DOM hierarchy. Now, what is good, what is bad? This example I will post here. By using DOM hierarchy, we can do. What are the problems with this? The first problem here is, means what is the problem with the DOM hierarchy? So if you change the position of any element, if you change the position of any element in page, then every time you have to update its position in code also, in code. That means if you change the position of any element in page, every time you have to update its position in the code. And very important, that is not great. Why? Because suppose we keep on changing the design. Sometimes we add some new element, we remove the element. then DOM hierarchy is not great. Actually, it is faster. It is faster in rendering. Rendering means generating output. It is faster in rendering because this is how JavaScript can understand HTML. And you are writing in the native way of JavaScript, then JavaScript can better understand faster than anybody else. That means out of all the techniques, JavaScript understands this technique very well. And it is very faster because that is the native technique used by JavaScript. But what is problem with this? Problem with this is it is understandable to JavaScript, but it is risky. Why it is? It is risky because whenever you see now, whenever suppose I remove this button from here and I kept this button before the text box, and you see that now the register will be for text box. That means whenever you change the position, then every time you need to update the code. Now the button index is not 1, button index is 0. Then it will change it to register. Again, I brought it right side, or in between I added one more option, its index number changes. So this is not great. But this is also used when we are trying to access all controls in an order. When you are trying to access all the controls in an order and want to work with those controls in an order, then this is the best way. Because through index number, you can easily access all the values and all the elements in the page. It is faster. But this is not great every time. You cannot say which one is best. Every concept is best according to situation and requirement. So this is good for certain occasions, not great for every time. Then what we can do is, that means see, again, I change the position now. I change the position here. I change the position of it. Then again, I need to update it. That means again, I need to go here and change it to 1. Now it will be okay. These are the problems with referring by using DOM. So what is another technique? Second one is JavaScript can refer elements by using name. Can refer elements by using name. JavaScript can refer elements by using name. So every element can have a reference name now. Every element can have a reference name. So it can refer elements by using name. For example, see now. What I am doing here is I will remove this. Okay, on body load, again normal, empty. So image have a name called pic. And form have a name called FRM register. Text box have a name called TXT name. Button have a name called BTN register. Second form have a name, so FRM login. Text box have a name. It's not mandatory that every element should be given name. You give names only for the elements which you want to use, right? And TXT email. And button have a name, BTN login. Okay, now it's normal, nothing special. We given a reference name. Now we can access the elements by using name. If I want to access picture, so image, then simple. It is pic.src. Pic refers to image, src, and / public / images / so we have some neckband.png. and you can see that it will keep that image. That's very simple. That's very simple. Just we have to use a reference name. But this is also having a problem. Now, what is problem in this? The problem is nothing but referring by name is good. Even you change the position, it will work properly. But problem here is if you are trying to refer a child element without referring its parent, you cannot refer it directly. That means I have to refer button, register button. What is the name for register button? BTN register dot value is equal to what? Register. Now it is not working because register button is not a direct element in the page. It is an element inside the form. So without referring the form, you cannot refer the element. That means you have to refer the form, mandatory. That means what is the form, in which form it is present? We have to refer the form. See, you can use combination of both. Like you can write like this, window dot document dot forms of 0 dot btn register. Understood? Or that is having a reference name. Na? What is the reference name? FRM register. In that btn register. Now you can see it is working fine. So what is good? What is bad? Good is it will able to access any element directly by using the name. But if that element is a child element, we have to refer the parent and child both. You cannot directly access the child elements. So that means here we have to refer like this, FRM login dot btn login dot value login dot value is equal to what? Login. Now you can see it is going to handle that. This is reference by name. This is an example for reference by name. Then what are the issues in this? What is good? So you can access any element directly by using its reference name. Reference name. The problem is you cannot access child elements. So you have to refer both parent and child hierarchy. You have to refer both parent and child hierarchy. You cannot access child elements directly. You cannot access child elements directly. You have to refer both parent and child hierarchy. That is the problem with the reference by name. Next point. So then what is another technique? You can refer by using ID. 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 Now, how it works? So, document provides a method called getElementById. By using that method, you can access any element. What is advantage of this ID reference? You can access any element directly. Even a child element you can access without referring to the parent. Without referring to the parent. Then you may ask like, this is best. No, this is not best. Because ID also have problem. What is problem with ID? ID is not only used by JavaScript. CSS also uses ID. And we already learned that there cannot be multiple IDs. ID must be unique. There will be conflict between CSS IDs and JavaScript. So many issues will be there with ID. And ID is unnecessary if it is direct element of page. If direct element of page, name is better. You don't need to use document get element by ID. You can refer it directly by using name. You don't need a lengthy method for that. So that means depending on situation, nobody can ask like which one is best. If any one is best, why they given others? So they have given all techniques. That means you implement according to the situation, according to the requirement. So how this works now, let's see. To do that, every element must have an ID. You can use mixture. Already I told you that one element you can refer with DOM, another element you can refer by using ID, another element you can refer by class name. Anything you can do that I will show you. Here ID means that element must have an ID. I am using ID also pick. That means any element can have name, element can have ID. Okay, now I am giving ID for the button directly. ID as btn register. For this button, ID as btn login. I don't need to refer parent elements, so we don't need to give any reference for them. So how to access them now? See, again they are empty. So we have to just use this method. What is it? Document dot get element by ID. JavaScript is case sensitive. Capitalization matters. Everything you have to write exactly in the case how you are learning. So capitalization issues will be there. So get element by ID. What is the element ID? Is a pic. So this is an image. Then image will have an src. Src is .. images / some mobile.png. And you can see it sets that image there. I think mobile is not there. Huh? So I will give some laptop.png and it is apply. What is the public? Yeah, path wrong, right? It is in public. It is in public in that images in that some mobile.png. And you can see that will apply. So we are referring the element by using ID. Then you can access the button directly now. Document dot get element by ID btn register. Btn register dot value is equal to register, and it will apply that register. You don't need to refer the form. Any element you can directly access. Get element ID btn login dot value, and it is login. We can access and use it directly. That is the reference technique, how you can manage. So that is reference by using ID. This is an example for ID. And ID also have a problem. What are the issues with the IDs? Issue with ID is every element can be configured only with only one ID. ID have conflict with ID have conflict with CSS reference. Have conflict with CSS reference. So we have conflict with the CSS references. And ID is not required if you are accessing any direct document element. ID is not required if you are accessing any direct document element. If you are accessing any direct document element, then ID is not required for that. So that is ID. Next important, you have JavaScript can refer any element by using CSS selectors. For that, it uses a method called document.querySelector. By using query selector, allows you to select by using CSS selector. CSS selector means type selector, ID selector, class selector. These are called CSS selectors. You can refer by using any CSS selectors, type selector, ID selector, class selector, descendant selectors. You can use all of them. That means, for example, suppose we want to access. So here, I will remove this now. So I want to access this image. Image have an ID. How IDs are referred in CSS? Hash. So document.query selector hash pick. That's it. .src is equal to /public/images/ suppose some laptop.png, and you can see that it will apply that image. You can use query selector. Suppose I want to access suppose currently any common element I will give. Suppose in that we want to display some text or something. Suppose we want to access some class. Suppose here I am giving a class BTN, class BTN. So that means this button is having a class BTN. The same class can be given for both class BTN. Now you have problem, right? It will apply for both. How to access? By using class selector, document.query selector. Query selector, you can access .btn value is equal to register, and you can see that it will put register in this place. What about the second one? Now you have a problem because it will apply only for the first. Then you have to use alternate selectors. This is good if you are trying to access CSS classes and apply them. Later you will see how to apply CSS classes and use them. But this is good if you want to apply for several elements. Later, suppose if I want to access all paragraphs that have a class P1 and I want to put some color into it, that is good. Currently we are applying so value. It's not value. You can apply style we can use background color is equal to some background color we applied as red. Later we will learn about that. So that means it will apply red. So we can configure that everywhere and you can define everywhere. For example, you see now. So it is applying only for the first one. Later, if I apply for paragraph, we can access all paragraphs, we can access all divs, we can access all spans, right? Those effects we will learn later. Currently, we can use these selectors. These are not the JavaScript selectors. These are all CSS selectors. You can even select by using, so this just example I will give. I will give here as value is actually register. So suppose I will give here register, btn register. Another class name is btn login. That means now we need to apply for them. Then we can use that reference. So what is the reference? This is btn register. It will apply that register. And another one we can access document dot query selector. What is it? btn dot btn login. btn login dot value. So this is login. We can apply based on the classes we can configure. And later I will show you how we can access the type selectors also. But for that we need to learn output techniques, how to define output, how to display output. We will see that. Then you can understand how we can access paragraphs, how you can access others. That means actually you can access like this also. Suppose this query selector, how to access image without ID, without class. You can access image without ID, without class. Currently I made it empty. It's not working, empty. And I can access here img. img is what? Type selector. img is type selector. By using it you can apply. You can use a type selector, you can use an ID selector, you can use a class selector. Then wherever the type comes, you can apply some effect there. That situation will come later. So what is the advantage of query selector? The advantage of query selector, it allows you to access elements by using CSS selectors. But we have issues. What are the problems here? So the issue is query selector can apply effect, can apply effects only to the first element, only to the first element. However, it can handle data for multiple elements. If it is data, it can handle for multiple elements. Data for multiple elements. It can also handle styles for multiple elements. But if you want to apply any dynamic effect, then it will work only for the first one. Like value, like source, it will work only for the first. But later, if you want to apply styles, classes, it will apply for all, multiple. That will be helpful later. For that, we need to learn some more attributes, then we can handle it. So syntactically, we define like this. Document dot query selector. So here we use heading. This indicates type selector. Document dot query selector. You can use all CSS selectors. Hash some pick. This refers ID selector. And document dot query selector. So dot some pick. This is class selector. Like this. Right. Next point, JavaScript can refer all elements having common name. Can refer all elements having common name. For that, we have to use document dot get elements. get elements by name. Document dot get elements by name. Get elements. Get elements by name. JavaScript can refer all elements having a common name. For that, it uses get elements by name. Get elements by name. Get elements by name. So how it works? For example, so these require some more programming knowledge, but just introduction I will give here. For example, suppose in a page, we are having some radios. So we have a div or say field set with a legend. So payment method. So we have a just input type is equal to radio. And you know that radios must have a name pay. And this is say cache. Input type is radio. To exhibit mutex mechanism, every radio must have a common name. So some UPI. And we have input type is equal to radio. The name is pay. And here we have some credit card, something like credit card. Okay. Now I want to know how many payment methods are present. So that means there may be so many in different locations in the page. I want to collect how many payment methods are present. Then we can write a simple logic. Here, document dot get elements by name. And which name you are looking for, pay. Then it will return collection of all those elements. Then that result I will store in a variable. Later we will learn about variables. So this allocates memory. In that memory, we are storing this value. That means how many elements are there? All those elements are stored in result. I am just showing you an alert. So total number of payment methods, how many? I will just use result dot length. It will return the total number of payment methods, 3. That means it will show that number as 3. That says total number of payment methods are 3. You will learn about this programming later. Our concept is not about this program to understand how it can access. Later you will understand why to use this, because we want to collect all the radios that have a same name that belongs to specific category. Then we have to use get elements by name. Gets elements by name is used to refer all the elements that have a common name. That is required in various situations. Another important is we can refer all the elements. So JavaScript can refer all elements having common class name. Can refer all elements having common class name. That means we can use document dot get elements by class name. We can use document dot get elements by class name. For example, you are designing a page and in that you are using lot of bootstrap, CSS and everything. If anybody asked how many alerts are there in this page, if anybody asked how many carousels are there in this page, if I want how many accordions are there in this page, how many collapse options are there in this page, then how to access them? They don't have an ID, na? They have an class name. So that means how many collapses are there, how many drop downs are there, how many buttons are there, how many buttons are having danger look, how many buttons are having success look. So such things we can access by using class name. This also same. Here, get elements by, I'm using class name. So which class you are looking for? You can give a class name. Currently class name pay is 0. There are nothing. So how many, which class you are looking for? For example, so for that we are giving a class. We are giving a class as form check input. That is the class. So and so the class name is form check input. How many radios are given with that class form check input? We have to define that class name, and you can refer that. So now you see it says one element is having that class name called this. I haven't changed the message. You have to change that message also. The message is nothing but so radios with the input class. How many are there? Currently only one. You can access all of them. For example, so this is also using the same class, form check input. It is also using the same class. Now it says 2 are there. That means how many elements are using input class? 2 elements are used. Currently, I am just showing their number. Later we can access them and use them. I am just showing the number. If you can store in a collection, you can access and you can use them. So you can refer elements. You can refer elements by class name. This is an example of referring elements by class name. You can also refer elements. JavaScript can refer all elements. Elements by using tag name also. Can refer all elements by using tag name. Document dot get elements by tag name. You have a class method called tag name. It can access all the elements by using tag name. That means I want to know how many headings are there. I want to know how many paragraphs are there. I want to know how many divs are there, or I want to know how many spans are there, how many images are there. This works by using by tag name. We can even use the tag name. So how many elements are there? For example, suppose here we have a heading, suppose register, and we have another heading, say login, and I want to know how many are using the heading tag, how many heading 2 are there. Then get elements by tag name. What is the tag you are looking for? Heading 2. So that means, so here I will say, so total number of headings, something like this I define. And total number of headings, that means here it will say total number of headings 2. That means it will get that collection and it will display. We have 2. So that is by using the tag name. This is the reference by using tag name. Example for that. These are all the various reference technique. And out of this, we mostly prefer using 2 regularly. One is query selector, is ID, because to refer the child elements, the id is good. Query selector, if you want to refer similar type of elements by id, by class name, so then you can use by using query selector. Depends on situation, as I told you. So but most commonly used reference methods are two important reference methods. One is refer by using id, another refer by using the query selectors. And if you have issues with ids and classes, then you can go with name, refer by using the names. So in majority of javascript based examples, you will see people using these three regularly: id, query selector, and names. These are the regularly used. DOM hierarchy very rare, but DOM hierarchy is used by developers in testing. Actually, in testing we use it very much, because in testing we have to access all paragraphs, all images, and verify them. Then we need index based access. Then we have to write logic to access through index number and work with them, which index, which element is there, correctly configured or not, these all things. So this is various reference methods. So to start programming with javascript, first we should know how javascript takes control over html. For that, these are all the techniques. Next important, we need to know how javascript handles output here. JavaScript output techniques. For every programming language, input and output are very important. Output indicates how it presents the result, how it is going to present the result. So what are the techniques for output? So input means how it takes value from you. What is difference between presentation language and programming language? HTML is a presentation language. Presentation language only presents. But programming language handles interaction with user. That means programming language take value from the user. It will process the value, generates an output, and presents it. The input and output activities are very much important in any programming language. And how JavaScript handles output? There are so many techniques. So JavaScript can use alert. JavaScript can use confirm. JavaScript can use console. Console have a lot of methods: console log, console warn, console success, console error, console error, console error, console debug, so console info. All these are console options, etc. So many will be there. We have options like inner text, we have inner HTML, and outer HTML. These are the various output techniques used in JavaScript. Alert, confirm, console log, warn, success, error, debug, info, all these. Inner text, inner HTML, outer text, outer HTML, right? These are the JavaScript output techniques. Now again, one more is document.write. Yeah. Now again, the concept is what is difference between them? What is difference between them? What is difference between all these? When to use these, depending on the situation here. For example, see, what are these output techniques? Suppose I'm defining here a button. So it is not on load now. I will remove that function. Here I have a button, and I will say delete. Okay. And for delete button, when it is clicked, I want some functionality. Then on click indicates when button is clicked. On click, we will write a function called delete click. And we need to define that function in the script by using function. What is it? Delete click. Okay, now on delete click, it should show a message to the user that deleted successfully. Then how you can show the message? How you can show output to users? There are so many techniques. One, we can use alert. In alert, I can put a message. So here I will put here a heading, click delete button to remove record, something like this. Record, something like this. And delete. Now output I am using alert. Inside alert, you can put a message, record deleted successfully. Okay. Now the point is here, alert is used for displaying output on the screen. And it will happen when user clicks the delete button. When user clicks the delete button, it will say record deleted successfully. This is called alert. What is good? What is bad? The good about this is it will show an alert and it will not allow to do any work until or unless you confirm it. Sometimes what happens is you might have faced this problem very regularly. You opened a registration form of a website, very lengthy form, and you filled up some details, scrolled up and down or scrolled next page, previous page, and you are trying to register, but it is not registering because somewhere it gone wrong. Some field is wrongly entered and you are unable to notice it, and repeatedly you are submitting it and it is not submitting. Somewhere it is gone wrong. Now I have to scroll back above or below and see where it went wrong. Somewhere it gives a red mark saying that you missed it, you fill it. So that is very risky. Better show an alert. That means pop up the message and say that this is wrong. That is easy. That means instead of asking the user to scroll and see where the problem is, show a message there. So that means you can simply pop up a message so that he will not able to do any another work until he confirms it. That means I cannot do any another work. I can't even select. I can't click this button again. I have to confirm this. Then you can do any another work. So alerts are used for mandatory confirmations. Mandatory confirmation. But what is problem with alert? The problem with alert is nothing but, suppose here I am writing, are you sure? Are you sure? Want to delete? I am asking a question. Now I will click on the delete button. It is asking, are you sure? Want to delete? No, I don't want to delete. Then how? There is no cancel. You may think that I will press escape. Escape is equal to OK. Now this is not great. That means this is not good for every situation. That means you say that, are you sure you want to delete? Confirmation. Then alert is not good for confirming. Alert is good for only pop-up message, mandatory confirmation. If an optional confirmation, there is no close button here. There is no close button. There is no cancel button. I click outside, not working. You can press escape key, but escape is equivalent to OK. That is problem. That is problem. So in that case, alert is not good every time. Then instead of alert, you can use here a confirm. Confirm is same like alert. But what is the speciality of confirm? What is the speciality of confirm? The speciality of confirm is nothing but when I click on delete, it will show OK, cancel to. Same like alert, but allows to cancel. But currently there is no logic written for OK and cancel. Both are same. You have to write logic. So if OK clicked, what should happen? If cancel clicked, what should happen? That means actually this confirm box return true or false. Confirm box will return true or false. OK, true. Cancel, false. What is the result expected from this confirm? True or false? Then see, currently cancel same, OK is also same, because we haven't written any logic for that. So what we do is we write a logic like this. If confirm, so are you sure? Are you sure? Want to delete? Delete. If confirm is equal to true, that means if it is resulting true, that means if it is clicked with OK, then what message? I will put an alert saying that record deleted. I will show a message record deleted. If it is not true, if it is false, then we write else. Else alert, we will say that you cancelled. You cancelled. This message will come. Okay. This message will come. That means if it is false, you cancelled. If it is okay, then true. Right? You see now, click on delete. I click on cancel, then it says you cancelled. That's good. That means it's not deleted. I click on this OK. Okay. Now it says deleted. That means you can define the functions. On OK, what to do. On cancel, what to do. Currently, we are just displaying messages. Those are defined with the functionalities according to the situation. So you cannot directly handle them. You cannot directly handle them. These examples I will upload into classroom. Alert, confirm examples. First, you need to just understand the point. So what is difference between alert and confirm? Alert will not allow to cancel, but confirm will allow to cancel. And I don't want alert. I want to show in a new screen. Then you can go with document write. I don't want alert. I want to display in a new screen. Then we can define document.write. We can define document.write. So what document.write will do is it will display in a new screen. That means, for example, I will remove this alert and I will say document.write. I will define document.write. And here also you can use one document write, another alert. Suppose I will put document.write. See what will happen now. I click on delete. I click on cancel. When I click on cancel, it says you cancelled. Okay. When I click delete, I click OK. Then it record deleted in a new screen. It is not new page. It is not new page, new screen. It is in the same page. This, once you refresh, automatically this message is gone and your page will retain normal. That is done by using document.write. On a new screen, if you want to display the output, then you can use document.write. So many methods are there, we will discuss. So one by one, we need to understand the differences. So many are there, we will see. Now the point, alert in the page, confirm also in the page, and this is in a new screen. Now I want in the same page, somewhere in a paragraph or a heading or a div. That means I want that message to display in the same page. In the same page, somewhere I want to show that deleted. I don't want in a separate window, or I don't want in a separate alert. Then what you can do is, where to display? First, allocate place. You can display in a div, you can display in a span, you can display in a paragraph, you can display in a heading. Suppose I mentioned heading 1. For the heading 1 align, I given as center. Now, how we can refer the heading? If it is not having ID, it is not having class, no problem. We can use query selector. By using query selector, we can access it. If it is having ID, we can access by using ID. So here, what we are doing now, when user clicks OK, Then I want to display message in heading 1. How to access that heading? Document dot query selector. Query selector, what is it? H1. Now heading, will it have a value? No, heading don't have value property. Na? Heading is a container. Na? Text box have value. Image have src. Heading, div, span, data definitions, table cells, all these are containers. In a container, you have to display as inner text. We can display as inner text. Inner text, I will write here as record deleted. Record deleted. Inner text, I am giving record deleted. And you see now what happens. I click on delete, say cancel, alert will come, you cancel. I click on delete, say OK, then it says record deleted. There itself it will display. So we can do that by using inner text. You can also use inner HTML. Then what is difference between inner text and inner HTML is, suppose I am using inner text. In inner text, I am displaying that message. I want to display in red color. If I want to display in red color, I can add some markup like this. We can put a font. We know HTML, na? So in that font, we will put this text. The font color is equal to, outer string is double quote. Inner string must be single quote. Color I given as red. Now you see here, inner text, when I click OK, it is unable to present that format. It is like RC data type. It is unable to present the format. It is plain text. If I want to allow formats, then we have to use inner HTML. Inner HTML allow formats, allow markups. So now you see here, delete, I click OK. Now it is red. So difference between inner text and inner HTML. Inner text will not allow any formats, will not allow any markup. Inner HTML will allow formats. It can handle the formats and it can manage the formats. That is the difference between inner HTML and inner text. One more important here is there. Another important is outer HTML. See what happens clearly. Here, I am writing a paragraph. I am writing a paragraph. In the paragraph, I am writing as deleted. Deleted successfully. This message we are giving. Where we are rendering this paragraph? We are rendering that paragraph inside heading. Na? We are rendering paragraph inside heading. That means you see now what happens. I will go to inspect. In the inspect elements, observe the elements. In the body section, we have heading. I clicked on delete and click OK. That paragraph is displayed, deleted successfully. That paragraph is displayed inside heading. What you are doing? In a heading, why paragraph? Right? In a heading, why paragraph? Either display directly in heading or display directly in paragraph. That means I want to replace that heading and put only paragraph. Currently, inner HTML, it is presenting that paragraph inside heading. I don't want inside, replace it. Remove that heading, put paragraph. Then what you can do is, you can keep here outer HTML. Outer HTML. Outer HTML, now see what will happen. We have a heading 1 and I click on delete and click OK. Then heading is replaced with paragraph. Here there is no heading now. It is replaced with paragraph. Sometimes we want to render inside it. Sometimes we want to render by removing it. Then we have to use this outer HTML and inner HTML. The difference between these. Difference. And console log is not for users. That is only for developers. That means developers, when they are testing, they want to show some messages to other developers for notice that this is happening on click once verified. Then what we do is we use console log. For example, see, I am writing here, when button is clicked, I will put here console.warn. Warn will give a warning style. Warn, I will say that record will be deleted. That is the first message. And when they click on confirm, then okay, then I will put here console.error saying that deleted. That means record deleted, or I will say deleted. So, or you can say you clicked okay. You clicked okay. And if you want normal message, you see, you can put console.log. Console.log is normal message. So see, log, warn, error, all are in console only. Their appearance style will change. Log is normal message saying that you clicked cancel. Now observe this here when we are saving this and refresh. And these messages are displayed in console, open console. In the inspect, we have elements and we have console. In this console, you can see here, when I click delete button, it says record will be deleted. And see the style, it shows a warning icon there, warning icon. And I click on cancel. When I click on cancel, it shows you cancelled, okay, then normal message will come. That is a log message. Suppose I clicked again delete, again clicked. When I click OK, then it will be in red color, deleted. These are the styles that developers use to give warnings, give error messages to other developers to tell that this is what happening, you just check them. That is done mostly in testing. So this is not for general people. Developers, while testing, they use these console logs. For general people to show messages, better you have to go with alerts, confirm, inner text, inner HTML, outer HTML, and document.write. These are the various output techniques, how to handle them. Now, similarly, how to use input, how to take value from the user, that we will see in our next session. Tomorrow we will do that, right? Tomorrow we will learn both combination of input and output, how it happens. We will design some interfaces to handle this. Tomorrow we will continue, right? Yeah.